So last grammar tuto of the year, 2022. Thanks for coming. Nice to see so many of you this evening. This is a part 2 grammar tuto to the one that I did earlier on today, because it's a subject that needs a little bit more than just 15 minutes. So this morning we did ne pas. So ne before the verb, pas after, and we know that negatives go around the verb. And we also know, and I know that you know this, that when we speak French, we don't really bother with the ne, we just go straight in, but the negative word, and this morning it was pas, has to be heard. But when you see it written on the page, you're always going to see the ne written down, because that's grammatically correct. So what other alternatives have we got than just the pas? So pas means not. We've got a few more here. So here's a few here. And I'm going to show you in exercises rather than just an explanation, because sometimes that's just easier to process when you've got a few examples. So we've got plus. That means no more. Now, when plus means no more, because you know it means other things as well, when it means no more, do not pronounce the S ever, ever. So if you like, you could write it down plus and then put a big cross through the S to remind yourself that you never ever pronounce that S. Rien means nothing, and personne means no one. So let's see these in action. So, tu as encore ta vieille Alfa Romeo, Juliette? Non, j'ai plus mon Alfa Romeo. I'll try and drop the ne to make it sound more as if it was spoken. Now, encore here means, what does that mean? Think about it if you look at the actual context of the question. T'as encore ta vieille Alfa Romeo, Juliette? Non, j'ai plus mon Alfa Romeo. So encore means still in this context. So the opposite of still is plus, which is no more. So you could partner those words together in your mind, if you like. Encore meaning, I know it has other meanings, but in this context, it means still, and plus is no more. So you could kind of put them both different sides of the coin. T'habites toujours à Vérone? Non, j'habite plus à Vérone. And toujours in this context means the same as encore, it means still. We know it means other things as well, but in this context, it means still. T'habites toujours à Vérone? Non, j'y habite plus. No, I don't live there anymore. Okay, so that's with the pronoun in place. If we wanted to replace mon Alfa Romeo, just have a think for a minute. What pronoun would you use? And where would you put it? You say, je l'ai plus. Je l'ai plus. So short, simple, yes? Non, je l'ai plus. Je l'ai plus. Because it's an L apostrophe, that one. Tu vois toujours William? Non, je vois plus William. So that means still. Non, je le vois plus. Non, je le vois plus. I don't see him anymore. So this is all no more, the plus. Tu fais quelque chose ce soir? Non, je fais rien. Non, je fais rien. Are you doing something this evening? No, I'm doing nothing. So we could, if we wanted to, we could put quelque chose as the opposite of rien. Something is the opposite of nothing. Non, je fais rien. Tu attends quelqu'un? Attendre, remember what that verb means. Attendre means to wait. So we're waiting for someone. Tu attends quelqu'un? Non, j'attends personne. No, I'm not waiting for anybody. All right. When you see it like that, quite nice, isn't it? Nice and simple. Same logic, going around the verb. Just the second negative word changes with the meaning. Let's have a look at another example. So, les faux jumeaux, so false twins. So we're going to have opposites here. So, Pierre est toujours content. Now, up here, toujours in that context meant still. You'd have to get it from the context. Toujours here, what does toujours mean here? Pierre est toujours content. It means always. It probably doesn't mean still. It could. It depends on the context if you've got the still meaning, but I'm sure here it means always. So Pierre est toujours content. Pierre is always happy. And his twin, Paul, n'est jamais content. And so jamais means the opposite of toujours in this context. So jamais means never. Pierre aime tout le monde. So Pierre loves everybody. So what would be the opposite? Do you want to just work that out in your mind? What would it be? Paul aime personne. Paul aime personne. Paul doesn't like anyone. So tout le monde, everybody. Personne, no one. Pierre sourit tout le temps. So he smiles all the time. Paul ne sourit jamais. Sourit jamais. So he never smiles. Pierre a beaucoup d'amis. So what would be the opposite of that? So Pierre has lots of friends. That's lots of. What would be the opposite? I suppose it would be Paul n'a pas d'amis. N'a pas d'amis. He hasn't got any friends. So that's not, yeah? N'a pas, ne pas. So you don't think, oh, if I've got one, I don't have to use the others. It depends on the meaning. Pierre accepte toujours tout. Pierre always accepts everything. So what would be the opposite? Yeah, that's right. Paul n'accepte jamais rien. So we've got two together there. Never, nothing. That sounds so good in English. So Pierre always accepts always everything. So we've got the opposite of always, which is jamais, and all, the opposite would be rien. So Paul n'accepte jamais rien. So you can put two together as well. Pierre croit encore au Père Noël. Encore here means, what does that mean there? Encore, it means still. So Pierre still believes in Père Noël. Paul n'y croit plus. No more. Paul ne croit plus au Père Noël. Plus, no more. All right, a little bit more repetition. It's all good, isn't it? So we're going to answer with the negative form. Okay. Vous fumez parfois le cigare? Do you sometimes smoke cigars? Non, je fume jamais le cigare. Which means no, jamais, I never smoke. So what would be the answer to this? Vous allez quelquefois dans des rave parties? Non, je ne vais jamais dans les rave parties. How would you do it if you were going to put a pronoun in there? Non, j'y vais jamais. J'y vais jamais. Vous habitez encore chez vos parents? Encore, we know the meaning there, means still. And the answer would be non, je n'habite plus chez mes parents. Ou non, j'y habite plus. The J, the Y being there. Vous êtes toujours débutant complet? Are you still a complete beginner? So it would be non, je ne suis plus. Je ne suis plus. Je ne suis plus. Or je suis plus. Je suis plus. I'm not anymore. Vous parlez déjà français couramment? Non, je parle pas encore couramment. So the déjà, can you already speak French fluently? This is not a real question. And the answer would be not yet. So how would you say that? Yeah, not yet. Je parle pas encore français couramment. Je parle pas encore. So we've got that encore, which means yet in that. So you're noticing toujours and encore have got several different meanings, and we have to go by the context to get them. Bravo, bravo. Okay, we'll skip this one and we'll just look at this last one down here. So answer in the affirmative or negative. Il y a quelqu'un devant vous. Is there someone in front of you? So do you want to answer that in the negative? We'll stay with the negative. So il y a quelqu'un devant vous. How would you answer that? Non, il y a personne. Non, il y a personne. Il y a quelque chose dans le tiroir? There's something in the drawer? Non, il y a rien. Non, il y a rien. There's nothing. Il y a quelqu'un dans le couloir? Is there someone in the corridor? Non, il y a personne. And il y a quelque chose sur la table? Non, il y a rien. Voilà. Très bien. So recap for some people, maybe fresh information for others. Very useful nevertheless. Bon, très bien, merci. Et puis, à la prochaine alors. Au revoir, merci.